Hello everyone, and in today's video I want to talk about M3GAN, because I went to see that film yesterday, opening day, obviously, because why wouldn't you release a horror movie on Friday the 13th? Bit annoying that we had to wait till a whole week after everyone else got it, but we got it on the funny horror day, so we're immediately better here in the UK. Anyway, I'm sort of just going to read most of this off my letterbox, so if you want to see this in a more structured way, check my letterbox, it'll be in description. But M3GAN's decent, and I'm very shocked by that, to be honest, because I went in being like, okay, this film's going to be sort of mid, I'm not really good, I'm going to enjoy it, but it's going to be mid, and I came out going like, no, that was actually really good, holy shit. The acting is decent, and all that stuff that you expect from a movie, obviously, but I will say some of the acting bit. I mean, I'm not going to critique a child's acting because, well, they're a child, for fuck's sake. I'm not in that position to do that. Plus, I mean, if you'd seen how I acted in some of the short films I make and some of the stuff I'm doing behind the scenes at the moment, you would not be. You would be telling me I'm not in the position to critique people. But nonetheless, when it comes to horror, M3GAN is severely lacking. The movie's not actually that scary, to be honest. I jumped a few times, don't get me wrong, I mean, it's a horror movie, I'm obviously going to jump, but those were really the result of cheap jump scares with loud stingers. There was nothing, like, truly, like, horrifying in there. I'll give it this, though. M3GAN's design can be really unnerving at points. I think that mostly comes from the uncanny valley aspect that comes from taking something and trying to have it imitate a human's likeness. But yeah, there's also some unnerving stuff with the underlying part of the robot at the beginning. Like, when they're first designing the robot, the undershell is like, that's a bit unnerving to look at. I was getting a bit of a tingle in my spine watching that. Although, I feel like part of the reason the horror was not as effective for me was that I thought this was directed by James Wan. I thought he directed that, so James Wan? Lee Winnell, sorry. Was it either way, I thought this was directed by James Wan, sorry. So that really put me off, because I went in expecting like some really freaky shit. So it was, to my surprise, the film was not directed by James Wan when I got to the credits. Even so, it's still well directed. I don't know if this director's a new guy or not, but if he is, very good debut. I'll have to check. The humour's a bit hit and miss. The scene where M3GAN chases the bully on all fours was pretty funny. Caught me off guard. And when she sings Titanium, again, another thing that caught me off guard, and it was actually so random that I audibly laughed in the cinema. I think a lot of the humour in this film comes from the whole not knowing what the doll's going to do next, and it being so random sort of aspect. Still, I enjoyed just how many stages the doll goes through in the final fight. It really gives some cool designs, which I can't wait to see absolutely horrifically marketed. That's not something you see often with these killer doll movies, is it? Where the doll actually goes through several different designs. But yeah, you actually get to see that with this one, which is cool. Yeah, is it as good as the reviews say? No. It's still really enjoyable, but it's not as good as the reviews say. I'll definitely be coming back for the sequel that I'm pretty sure they're planning, thanks to that obvious teaser. And I think I also read a news article that said that they were planning to release a sequel. So I'll definitely be coming back for it, because I enjoyed the first one. And I'll obviously buy some merchandise, because I can just tell this movie is going to be marketed the shit out of and like horrifically like merchandised. Sort of to the aspect that like Chucky is. Although I don't think Chucky's that much merchandise, to be honest. I mean, you got the Trick or Treat Studios stuff. That's one thing. Trick or Treat Studios, if they make a doll of the doll in this movie, that would be poggers. I would probably save up for it, because I think the design of the doll is very good. Which is good because this is going to be one of those dolls where I don't know what I'm saying here, but like, you know what I mean? You want it to stand out, so that it's like Chucky. He has that iconic look, the ginger hair, the overalls, and I feel like M3GAN's design here is something that's going to become iconic throughout those sequels as they come out, with the big like bow on the dress and shit. So I think they did well with designing the prop for that. Also, practical effects. It was a mix of practical effects and CGI. I was very happy to see in the credits that they had an actual person playing the doll as well. I hate to like compare this to the 2019 remake of Child's Play, but there's a lot there. Like, it's a very what is it? Fucking similar thing. There's even a similar shot where the girl Katie is laying in bed and M3GAN is like looming over her, and she says she's not going to let anyone hurt her again, which was very similar to the same shot that's in the 2019 Child's Play with Andy and the Buddy doll. Yeah. Another thing I want to mention, the girl, her name is Katie. I had misheard it throughout the whole film and thought her name was Katie. Not like, this isn't like specific to the film, but the doll, the way the doll's voice is, because it glitches sometimes, I genuinely just thought that it was like something where the doll was just mispronouncing it or some shit. But no, the girl's name is just actually Katie, and I was very shocked to see that in the credits. But yeah, nonetheless, very happy with the film. I've been waiting for this since announcement, to be honest. One thing I want to bring up is how the marketing of this film is. I was so excited for this. I was on a roller coaster, so excited, and then more trailers came out, and I was like, okay, this looks kind of mid. I'm getting Child's Play 2019 vibes. This is just going to be female Chucky, which is not what I was hoping for this film. Went in to see it, nothing like it. I know a lot of people are probably comparing this to female Chucky, but nah, we good. This film is like its own thing. Yeah, it's always going to have that comparison to like Annabelle and Child's Play, but it stands on its own, if you ask me, and it's going to be a big franchise, in my opinion, because they're definitely going to make sequels to this, because I think this beat out, I don't know what film I heard this beat out. It was either Black Panther or Avatar for opening weekend. I know this thing made a lot of money opening weekend in America, and I guess we'll have to wait and see if it makes a lot of money over here in the UK, because, I mean, it only came out yesterday. Nonetheless, the film is definitely going to become one of those guilty pleasures that I, watch when I'm just feeling sick and I just want to put something on, play in the background. It's going to be a guilty pleasure viewing for sure, because it's not something I would actively be like, oh yeah, I love that film, It's just like, oh, yeah, it's alright. But when in actuality, I think it's fucking brilliant. Yeah, the characters are great, man. Come on, the little girl Katie, she's great. Her Aunt Gemma, all the characters are fucking brilliant. There's not too many characters to keep track of, which I'm very happy about. I know with a lot of these movies, they like try and cram in as many memorable characters as possible. Here, you've got maybe like 6-7 characters to keep track of, and 2 of them get fucking killed anyway. The boss, the guy who plays Gemma's boss, I fucking love him. There's some great comedy in there with him. I heard some people say he was like corrupt. He's not, man. He's just a regular fucking CEO for once, which I'm very happy about. A lot of these AI doll movies have like it be a thing of like, oh, an employee or the boss or something purposely codes it to make the doll evil. This one, no, it's just a prototype that wasn't correctly coded by a person, so it goes rogue. One thing I want to mention, there's a line where the aunt goes, you need to keep Katie safe from physical and emotional harm no matter what. It sets it up immediately. Like, it's one of those things where when that line comes up, you're like, okay, now shit is going to start ramping up, and there's actually someone who isn't just like le corrupt CEO to blame this time. It was the woman's phrasing, because woman moment. Yeah, anyway, that's all I really have to say about M3GAN. It's a fucking good film, better than I expected, and honestly, I think you should go see it right now if you haven't seen it. When this video finishes, of course. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you later. Goodbye.